Psalm 106:2 and 3 reveals the path to a happy life. Verse 2 of Psalm 106 reads, "Who can utter the mighty acts of the Lord? Who can declare all his praise? Who can? Who can offer proofs of his mighty power when he has accomplished such great things? Who can find language to sufficiently describe that which will suitably express what he has done, or utter the mighty acts of the Lord? He manifested them in the power of his mercy, for the salvation of men, and our human language falls dismally short of being adequate in expressing the praises of the Lord or conveying the fullness of what he has done. So great is our God that words cannot be found which will enable it to be heard in a suitable manner. What tongue of men or angels can appropriately describe the great displays of divine power? They cannot be adequately uttered. Even those who saw them could not fully tell them. When we read about just the things that Jesus did during his limited tenure on earth in John 21:25, John's Gospel comes up short of recording all of Jesus' mighty deeds. And there are also many other things that Jesus did, which, if they were written one by one, I suppose not even the world itself could contain the books that would be written. HCSB. Psalm 106:3, "Blessed are those who keep justice, and he who does righteousness at all times." Since the Lord is so good and so worthy to be praised, our hearts are devoted to him, and we are truly happy and blessed, for we live in the habit of obedience to his word, which is the opposite of those whose lives are not conformed to the will of God, leaving them with no true happiness. God's people are those whose principles are soundly based on his holy word. We seek justice while we are adhering to his rules of wisdom and righteousness, making every effort to ensure that our practices are agreeable and in accordance with the holy will of our Lord. As Christians, our actions should be steady and consistent, always and at every turn, even in our conversations. For the Christian, holiness is happiness. The psalmist, while contemplating the perfections of God, was impressed with the sagacity and logic common among the happy servants of such an exalted being. Then when he looked around and saw how the early tribes of Israel prospered through obedience and suffered when they sinned, he was still more fully assured of the truth of his conclusion, since the way of Israel was not always that of judgment and righteousness, rather it was often conflicted by foolishness and rebellion.